We've made it to Module 2's required coding activity, and now we get to build the list-o-matic. We're here on the edX page, and we can see that there is a flowchart that helps describe the problem. There are two different parts of the flowchart, the main body of the program and the list-o-matic function that will add and remove items to our list. Let's just start off and take a look at the Jupyter Notebook, and it has that same information. We can run the program and just see what it looks like. I've preloaded some code here, so let's go ahead and just run to see what the program looks like when it's running. So we're going to enter the name of an animal, and it shows us all the animals that we currently have. If I add the name of an animal that exists in the list, it will remove it. And if I add a new name, then it will add to the list. So I'm going to add dog. And then we see that dog is added to the list. And we have two cats on there. So I'm going to add cat again. And we see that it removes a cat and continues to remove a cat. And then I can quit. Back to the edX page, looking at the flowchart, we can see there's the main body of the program. It starts at the top here. It says, is a list empty? So somehow we're starting with a list, and so we're going to have to pass a list and then check if that list is empty or not. And if it's empty, then the program's done and we exit, the same as if we write quit for input. If it's not, then we get our string input. And so we looked in there. If I wrote cat and I had cat in the list, then we're going to do that thing where we remove it, or if it's not in the list, we add it. But first it'll check to see if that input is quit. If it's quit, then we're done. If it's not, then we're going to call the list-o-matic function. And the list-o-matic function is up over here. The list-o-matic function will take an argument of a list and a item that is input. If the input string is empty, then we just pop the last item off of the list. If the string has something in it, then we check if it's already in the list. If it's in the list, then we're going to remove an item, that exact item. If it's not in the list, then we're going to append it to the end of the list. And in all of these cases, we're going to return the message that says something was added or removed. Let's go ahead and look back. So after that call, it comes back. We're going to display that message. So the message returned, we print that, and then we come back in and see if there's anything left in the list. And we continue to get input until it either quits or a list item's empty. Now, in building this project, there are requirements, as there are in all of our required code activities, to have keywords included in your problem. So we are going to have a function with a return value. So you'll need the def keyword and return. We'll also display our return value. So we'll need to have a print function, and we'll need to get input for the items that we want to test the list with, to either add to the list or to remove from the list. And then we will do some logic and use a conditional if statement. We'll use the in keyword to search if an item is actually present in the list. We will append items to the end of the list. We will pop items from the end of the list, and we will remove a specific named item if it already exists in the list. Looking at our program again, we can test again. One thing we didn't test previously is if nothing is added, and that should pop the last item. So you should run that test too and see that the cat is removed, goat is removed, cat is removed, and that automatically ends because there's nothing in the list. And there's the other way that we can get to the end of the list, which is I can remove those two items, but when there's one thing left, I can put cat in there. And notice I can also put in cat, and then that would add on. But if I want to pop those two things, then my list is empty. Build two parts of your program. Use the logic to run the program to get the input string or to decide if we're quitting. Also, build the list-o-matic function that will check if our input string should pop something from the end, should remove a specific instance of a named item, or append to the end of the list. And be sure to use each of the keywords in the requirements. Happy coding!